June 12, 1993, a day that could have changed Nigeria forever, but didn't. This isn't just about a date in history. It's about a choice, one that was made, and what could have happened if the opposite decision had been taken. What if Nigeria had honored the will of its people? What if MKO Abiola had taken the seat he rightfully won? In this video, we're not just retelling history, we're rewinding it. We'll explore not only what happened, but what should have happened and how that choice could have transformed Nigeria for generations to come. We'll take you deep into the lives of two men whose destinies collided. General Ibrahim Babangida, the soldier, the strategist, the man behind the annulment. And Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola, the billionaire, the unifier, the man of the people, who paid the ultimate price for democracy. Why does June 12 matter? Because it revealed both our greatest hope and our deepest wound. From political betrayal to national outrage, from international backlash to personal sacrifice, this is the story of how one stolen mandate scarred a nation and how things could have been so different. Stick with us to the end as we break down not just the events, but the alternate reality, what Nigeria would look like today if June 12 had been honored. This isn't just history. This is the soul of a nation, still healing. Like, comment, and share. Let's talk about what Nigeria could have been and what it still can be. June 12, a date that shaped Nigerian political landscape. In the vast tapestry of Nigeria's history, few figures loom as large as Ibrahim Babangida and Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola. Their lives, though intertwined by a pivotal moment in time, began on vastly different terrains, shaping the men they would become. Let's first delve into the early world of Ibrahim Babangida. Born on August 17, 1941, in the quiet town of Mina, Niger State, he hailed from a Nupe family with parents Mohamedou and Aishatu Babangida. His early years were steeped in Islamic tradition, followed by formal schooling at primary institutions and then the prestigious government college Bida. But destiny, it seemed, called him to a life of command. A chance encounter with an army recruiting officer in high school ignited a spark. On December 10, 1962, Babangida embraced the military life, beginning his ascent through the ranks at the Nigerian Military Training College and later internationally renowned academies like the Indian Military Academy, the Royal Armoured Centre in the UK, and the U.S. Army Armour School. He was a soldier forged in discipline and strategy. Now, consider the incredible journey of Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola, fondly known as MKO. Born on August 24, 1937 in Abiokuta, Ogun State, his beginnings were marked by profound poverty. His parents, Salawu and Suliat Abiola, traded in humble goods, cocoa and kola nuts, respectively. A poignant detail: MKO was his father's 23rd child, but the very first to survive infancy. This led to his powerful name, Kashimawo, meaning "let us wait and see" in Yoruba. From the tender age of 9, MKO demonstrated an extraordinary entrepreneurial spirit, selling firewood just to help his family survive. By 15, he'd even formed a band, playing for meals, then for meager payments, all to fund his education. His academic journey led him from African Central School to Baptist Boys High School, where he honed his voice as editor of The Trumpeter. A government scholarship then propelled him across continents to the University of Glasgow, Scotland, where he emerged a chartered accountant in 1965. His professional life began humbly, as a bank clerk in Ibadan, but his brilliance shone through, leading him through the Western Region Finance Corporation, the University of Lagos Teaching Hospital, and ultimately to the American giant ITT Corporation, where he soared to become CEO and chairman by 1971. Even amidst his burgeoning business empire, MKO's passion for public service burned bright. He dipped his toes into politics early, joining the NCC at just 19, and by 1980 he was already a state chairman for the National Party of Nigeria. Two men, one rising through military might, the other through entrepreneurial grit and popular appeal. Their early lives, distinct and compelling, set the stage for a collision that would forever alter the course of Nigerian history. June 12, 1993, a date forever etched in the collective memory of Nigerians. It's a testament to a democratic dream deferred. A story not just of an election, but of hope, of betrayal, and the complex, winding path of a nation grappling with its very identity. Before the dawn, the road to June 12. In the early 1990s, Nigeria was held firmly in the grip of General Ibrahim Babangida's military regime. He'd seized power in a 1985 coup and for years promised a transition to civilian rule, a process that stretched on, earning him the cynical moniker, Evil Genius. Political parties were formed, then dissolved. Referendums held, then annulled. A growing sense of fatigue and skepticism began to settle over the populace. Yet, despite the constant maneuvering, a new democratic fervor began to stir. Two parties were finally sanctioned: the Social Democratic Party, or SDP, and the National Republican Convention. Within the SDP, a charismatic and wealthy businessman, a true philanthropist, emerged: Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola. MKO, as he was known, was a household name. His media empire, his extensive charity work, his genuine connection to people from all walks of life, all coalesced around his powerful campaign slogan, Hope 93. It resonated deeply with Nigerians, yearning for change, yearning for an end to military rule. The campaign was intense, vibrant. Abiola, a Muslim from the southwest, skillfully built bridges across Nigeria's diverse ethnic and religious divides. He campaigned tirelessly, touching every corner of the country. His running mate, Babagana Kingibe, a Kanuri Muslim from the northeast, formed a seemingly improbable yet strategically brilliant Muslim-Muslim ticket. It defied all conventional wisdom in a nation often plagued by ethno-religious tensions, showcasing a pragmatic unity in the pursuit of democracy. The Day of Reckoning, June 12, 1993. Millions of Nigerians flocked to polling stations that day, defying early morning rains, defying a palpable tension in the air. The election was largely peaceful, orderly, a powerful testament to the people's unwavering determination to exercise their democratic rights. International observers widely hailed it as free and fair, one of the most credible elections in Nigeria's history. As results began to trickle in, it became clear MKO Abiola was heading for a landslide win. He was winning not just in his strongholds, but in unexpected territories across the north and beyond. The hope that Hope 93 promised seemed within reach. The annulment and its aftermath. A dream crushed. Then came the bombshell. Before the final results could even be officially announced, the Babangida regime, citing vague legal technicalities and dubious security concerns, annulled the election on June 23, 1993. The nation was plunged into disbelief, into outrage. The annulment was seen as a cynical act of political sabotage, a direct betrayal of the people's will, and a devastating blow to Nigeria's fragile democratic aspirations. This betrayal ignited widespread protests and civil unrest, particularly in the southwest. Abiola, initially urging calm, later declared himself the rightful president in June 1994. This act of defiance led to his swift arrest and detention on charges of treason by the subsequent military regime of General Sani Abacha. Abiola's incarceration became a grim symbol of the struggle for democracy. Despite immense international pressure, he remained imprisoned. And then, tragically, on July 7, 1998, MKO Abiola died in prison under controversial circumstances just as he was reportedly on the verge of being released. His death, it further inflamed public anger, cementing his place as a martyr for democracy.
The final moment. July 7th, 1998. A day that promised freedom, but delivered only profound tragedy. MKO Abiola, the man who embodied Hope 93, was reportedly hours away from release after years in detention. Instead, his life ended abruptly, under circumstances that remain deeply suspicious. He had a meeting that day at a government guest house in Abuja with a U.S. delegation, including figures like Thomas Pickering and Susan Rice. Tea was served, and during that very meeting, MKO Abiola suddenly fell ill. He collapsed. An official autopsy was later conducted with pathologists from Nigeria, Canada, the UK, and the US. Their conclusion? That Abiola died of massive heart failure. They cited extensive evidence of long-standing heart disease, an enlarged heart, narrowed arteries. They stated it was a natural cause, consistent with his medical history, ruling out poisoning as extremely unlikely. However, despite these official findings, a cloud of doubt, a shadow of foul play continues to hang over his death. Many Nigerians, and indeed the world, questioned the official narrative. There were claims of poisoning, whispers that he was poisoned by members of that very U.S. delegation after drinking the tea. Others, like General Sani Abacha's chief security officer Hamza al-Mustafa, later controversially alleged that Abiola was actually beaten to death, though no concrete evidence has ever been provided for this shocking claim. And then there's the pervasive argument of medical neglect. Organizations like Amnesty International strongly suggested that the brutal, physically and mentally stressful conditions of his 4 years in solitary confinement, deprived of news, subjected to abuse, denied proper medical care for existing ailments, were the ultimate contributors to his unexpected demise. His death, remember, came just 1 month after General Sani Abacha, the very dictator who imprisoned him, also died under mysterious circumstances. Abiola's passing plunged Nigeria into fresh turmoil. It solidified his status unequivocally as a martyr for democracy in the hearts of millions across Nigeria. His dream of June 12th was extinguished, but his legacy and the questions surrounding his final moments endure. The enduring impact. Today's Nigeria. The annulment of June 12, 1993 had a profound and lasting impact on Nigeria's political landscape, shaping its trajectory even decades later. It deeply eroded public trust in the electoral process. For years, Nigerians viewed elections with skepticism, fearing their votes simply wouldn't count. But it also deepened political activism, galvanizing civil society and pro-democracy advocates. Many of today's key figures in activism were forged in the crucible of that struggle. It intensified calls for true federalism, for a restructuring of Nigeria. Yet for many, the annulment represents an unresolved injustice. Even as Nigeria transitioned to democracy in 1999, the ghosts of June 12th still linger, particularly concerning the lack of full accountability for those responsible for the annulment. In 2018, President Muhammadu Buhari officially recognized June 12th as Nigeria's Democracy Day, replacing the former date. A powerful, symbolic gesture. The experience of June 12th serves as a constant reminder, the importance of free and fair elections, the absolute need to protect the sanctity of the ballot. Every election cycle in Nigeria is now viewed through that lens, with a heightened awareness for vigilance. The story of June 12, 1993, is a complex tapestry woven with threads of hope, despair, and ultimately resilience. It's a powerful reminder that democracy is a continuous journey, often fraught with challenges, but always sustained by the unwavering will of the people to determine their own destiny. MKO Abiola's sacrifice and the collective trauma of that annulment continue to inform Nigeria's democratic aspirations, urging the nation towards a future where the people's voice truly reigns supreme. The annulment of Nigeria's June 12, 1993 presidential election was nothing short of a catastrophe, a decision that sent ripples of negative consequences across the nation for decades. The alternative, the better decision, was clear. Uphold the results of an election widely acknowledged as free, fair, and credible, an election that clearly showed MKO Abiola as the victor. Imagine the impact had that choice been made. Respecting the people's will. Millions of Nigerians had spoken. Their votes transcended ethnic and religious divides, creating a rare moment of national unity. Upholding those results would have signaled unequivocally that the voice of the people truly mattered, shaping their own destiny. Completing the democratic transition. General Babangida's regime had promised civilian rule for years. Allowing Abiola to take office would have finally fulfilled that long-standing promise, ending years of military intervention and ushering in a new democratic era. Strengthening institutions. The annulment gravely undermined Nigeria's nascent democratic institutions. Honoring the election would have strengthened them, setting a powerful precedent for future elections and fostering deep confidence in democratic governance. Promoting national unity. Abiola's victory, cutting across traditional voting patterns, was a symbol of incredible national unity. Allowing him to lead would have reinforced this, demonstrating that a Nigerian could be elected based on merit and vision, regardless of background. Boosting international standing. The international community condemned the annulment. Upholding the election would have skyrocketed Nigeria's global standing, attracting foreign investment and fostering stronger diplomatic ties. So, how would this have impacted the Nigerian people? Early and stable democracy. Nigeria could have transitioned to stable democratic rule years earlier, in 1993, instead of enduring years of repressive military rule under General Sani Abacha, with all its human rights abuses and economic stagnation. Enhanced trust in elections. Nigerians would have had far greater faith in their electoral system. Citizens would have believed their votes genuinely counted, drastically reducing the cynicism that pervaded subsequent elections. Accelerated development. A stable, legitimate, and democratically elected government would have been a magnet for foreign investment, leading to more consistent economic policies and a laser focus on improving lives, free from the constant distraction of political instability. Reduced tensions. The annulment tragically exacerbated ethnic and religious tensions. Upholding an election that saw cross-ethnic voting could have significantly reduced these divides, fostering a stronger sense of national identity. Prevention of crises and loss of life. The annulment directly led to widespread protests, civil unrest, and the tragic loss of many lives, including MKO Abiola's. Had the election been honored, this period of immense turmoil and suffering could have been entirely avoided. A stronger rule of law. The annulment was a blatant disregard for law itself. Accepting the outcome would have powerfully reinforced the principle that no one, no institution is above the law, creating a more just and predictable framework for the nation. In essence, upholding the June 12 election would have been a truly transformative moment for Nigeria. It would have set the nation on a trajectory of genuine democratic consolidation, fostering unity,
trust, and accelerated development. Instead, it tragically averted years of political instability and left profound scars on the Nigerian psyche. The accident of history, as Babangida himself later called it, undeniably set Nigeria back decades. Now you know why we celebrate June 12 in Nigeria. It's crucial to know your nation's past so you can truly celebrate the present and build hope for the future. Let's hear from you in the comment section. Like and share this video to your friends.